Devil You Know, Chapter 3. Kyle, I'm so sorry about what happened. Is there anything I can do? Thank you, Reverend. The Reverend laid a compassionate hand over Kyle's as the parishioners made their way out of the cathedral. I guess I'm still in shock. I mean, he was so healthy. He works in the yard all the time, and now the doctors are telling me he will probably never be able to feel his right side again. It's just so horrible, Father. Ask not why, Kyle. I will stop by the hospital in a few days to visit your father. Thank you, Reverend. I think you would like that. I would like that too, Kyle. Your son is here to see you, Benjamin. Cal hesitatingly stepped into the hospital bedroom. The lights by his father were dimmed. It looked like a metallic accordion was strapped to his mouth amongst all the wires sprouting from his chest. Benjamin's eyes sank deep in their sockets. Black rings around his face made his eyes appear glowing as they slowly opened. Kyle. Kyle approached the bed and searched for the hand that still had feeling. His father's hand felt cold and lifeless, but responded to his touch. Ben's eyes opened and closed like a clamshell beneath the swollen skin. Kyle. I'm here, Dad. You're going to be okay. We will get you through this. Kyle. Come closer. Hal could tell the effort his father was making just to speak. He moved in closer and could hear the wheezing of his breath. He could hear the low hum of the machines pumping oxygen into his lungs. Cal, there's something I must tell you before my time. Dad, don't talk like that. It's going to take a lot of effort to recover you from this, but we can do this. Benjamin wetted his lips and his dry tongue and began to speak. A long time ago, I was told a family secret. We belong to a sect, Cal, a sect that has kept a secret alive for 300 years. There are others. Cal, God has been dead for the past 300 years. Cal just stared at him. He didn't know whether to feel pity or worry. He was too taken aback to even be in disbelief. So he just listened. The devil murdered God 300 years ago, Kyle. He finally succeeded. He had been trying since the dawn of time, and he finally succeeded. He captured his throne, and he threw the remaining angels out. He is the supreme deity now, Cal. He is all-powerful and all-knowing. Heaven and earth now answer to him. Think about it, Cal. You're a history teacher. Think about the past 300 years. The world wars, the genocide, the rise of atomic weapons. That's all it's doing, Cal. Do you really think that the past 3 centuries are the work of a benevolent God? If you realize that it is now the devil who pulls the strings, the world makes a lot more sense, doesn't it, Cal? Cal, 99% of this world lives and dies in extreme poverty. People ask themselves every day why tragedy must befall them. This is the answer. The devil now has all eternity to fuck with us. He doesn't need to rush. There will be no battle of Armageddon. We are like goldfish, and he is the fat cat looking through the looking glass. Think about hell for a moment, son. If you were tortured for just years, your whole mind would break down. Remember the POWs and the Viet Cong? Some of them started worshiping them, thinking they were gods. You can't just stick a pitchfork into humans forever without them losing who they are. So the devil decided instead to fuck with all of us on an everyday basis. Forever. Everything precious in your life, son, all the so-called blessings, are only there to be taken away from you. Every hope you have is just waiting to be crushed. We are his playthings now, Kyle. It was like listening to a madman at the back of an insane asylum kind of thought. Unless you knew who you were listening to, it almost began to make sense. He was there when I had my stroke, son. He was there. Carl walked towards the doorway and began calling for the nurse. Nurse! Nurse! He's going to come for you next, son. He's going to come after everything you love. And there's not a fucking thing you can do about it. Carl frantically motioned into the nurse and staff as his father had now risen from the bed like Lazarus himself. You want to know what he looks like? You've seen him every fucking day of your life. He's everywhere. The devil is everywhere, Carl. Cal staggered into the hospital hallway. He could still hear his father screaming, so he walked faster. When the screaming didn't stop, he started running. "13 dead in school bus accident. 5th year in a row of escalating violent crime. Suicide rate jumps." TV reporter droned on as Cal stared at the screen blankly. He was propped up with pillows like his wife on their queen-size bed. From her side at the bed, Helen's hair gleamed from the bedside lamp in an amber glow. "Helen." Helen was very content reading her romance novel. "Helen, do you think God is dead?" Helen wore a puzzled expression as she gently noted her spot in her novel and said aside, "What's that, honey?" "Do you think it's possible that God may no longer be around anymore?" Kyle turned over from his back and rolled to his side, facing his wife. She tried to keep an open mind. "I mean, look at this world sometimes. Look at all the pain and suffering that so many people find themselves in every day. How can we even be sure God is still watching over us? Maybe he had a lifespan just like every other living thing." "Honey, where is this coming from?" "Last night, when I saw my father, he was ranting about God is dead and the devil's in command now." "Baby." Helen had Cal's head to her chest and began to speak in a soothing tone. "Baby, the past few days have been just terrible. Your father is a very, very sick man right now. He could have said anything in that state. If you could just have seen him, Helen. It was like he was possessed, ranting on about fire and brimstone. I've never seen him like that before." Helen ran her fingertips through his dirty blonde hair, gently massaging his temples. "Baby, we've been so blessed, you and I. We have a beautiful house. We have made a good living, and most important, we have each other. If that's not proof enough that there's someone still above us, I don't know what else is. I know your father's stroke has really blindsided you, but you've got to remember, honey, his mind can barely function. You have to take everything he says with a grain of salt. I guess you're right, Helen. You should just have seen him. He said something about all of our blessings are just here so that someday they could be taken from us. And everything we are thankful for is just another way to torture us. Baby." Helen kissed him gently on the forehead, then on the cheeks, more passionate on the lips. "Listen to yourself." She kissed him again, harder, her strawberry blonde hair flowing over him. Helen stopped and she leaned over to turn off the bedside lamp. They made love and fell asleep beside one another. Only the light from the TV flickered against their naked bodies in the darkened bedroom. Fire kills family of 3 in local crash. Pregnant woman killed by boyfriend. This ends chapter 3. The devil, you know.